So as you can see, this is a granite countertop, and there's a pretty significant hole in the granite countertop right there. So this video I'm going to show you how to repair it using epoxy. In the deepest part here, it's almost 6 millimeters deep. There are various holes. It's about 18 across. It's hard to get a good feeling of how deep it is and how big it is, but see if I cast a shadow. You can kind of see how deep it is right there. So there's, let me get rid of this light. There's a pretty big hole here, hole here, hole here. So what I did was I cleaned it out and I used some acetone just to make sure there's nothing in there. There's a whole pit right, I don't know if you can see, there's a whole pit right along here. Let's see how I took out this stuff just in case I had to get over here. But the acetone, it ends. Let's see if I could zoom this in for a second just so you could see. Hopefully it's not going to shake too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take some of this West Epoxy. It's 105 resin and 206 hardener. I'm going to mix it in a little mixing cup like this. I'm going to put it in there. So let's take some resin first. That's about a half a squirt. Come on, prime. Okay. Might have put a little too much hardener in there. Put a little more epoxy resin in there. Okay. I'm going to stir it up. There is plenty of working time. This West System epoxy, you have at least 12 hours, at least 5 hours till it totally hardens. Now, I have this container of colorant right here. It's got a whole bunch of colors. In this particular case, though, since I'm dealing with a vein, I'm not going to add any colorant. I want it to be clear so you can see the gray through. In order to get the air bubbles out of here, the best way to do it is hit it with a little bit of heat. That's going to get rid of the bubbles. You just don't want to overdo it. That wasn't too smart. But anyway, so don't do that. Don't melt the plastic cup. So what I'm going to do We're going to put this, you're going to dribble it in. Ready? So don't do what I just did there. Dummy I am. Like I said, they make epoxy that's like 5-minute epoxy, but you're much better off working with this stuff that takes a long time to set. Winds up coming out better in the long run. So I'm just going to put this along the bottom. I'm going to move this. Now I'm going to cut a little angle on the top. So now it's a little bit easier to work with. So now I'm just going to go along here. I'm going to feel it with my finger. All right, so right here is the end of the problem. I just put way too much over here. And don't be afraid to just get rid of any extra that goes over the edge. I'm going to feel it again. Okay. So I filled in all the holes. See this flush? Now I'm going to take the heat gun and see if I could burst any little bubbles or pop any little bubbles in there. What's better than a heat gun is if you have a flame. So let me go see if I can find a flame. Okay. So now we have a little bit of propane. What I'm going to do is see if I can pop the bubbles. I'll put it on as low as I can. Okay, now as I was doing this, I see there's a couple of little low spots. Not that it makes a huge difference. See if I can add. Right there and right there were low spots. So now I added it's going to be high, but I'd rather that than too low. So let's hit it with a torch one more time. Okay. Now the secret's going to be keeping everybody away from this till it dries. Get rid of a little extra right there. Okay, and that's where we are right now. I'm looking at an angle. All right, there was a little low spot there too, so I just got rid of it. I was able to see that in the mirror. Okay. Okay. And that's it. It's 12. Right now it's 12:45, 12:50. 12:50 on a Sunday. It's going to take at least 24 hours to cure. So I'll see what it looks like tomorrow night or Tuesday, maybe Tuesday. You can either throw this out, or if you ask me, you're better off keeping it. And this way you can see when this is cured. All right, so now it's dried. It's about a little more than 24 hours later. It's Tuesday morning. So here's what I have. I have sandpaper. I have, if you want it to be transparent when you're done sanding it, it's got to be, you have to work your way up the sandpaper. So here's 120, 150 grit, 180, 220, 320, then this is just wet dry, 400, 800, 1000, 2000, 3000. I also took a little cut off of wood that has a flat bottom, just so I can go across it like this. You can use your hands, but this ensures that the whole surface is flat. Now, one thing I'm going to do that's going to not ensure the whole surface is flat, you can absolutely sand on this, and it's not going to ruin it, because the stone is much harder than the sandpaper. But I'm going to take this Tyvek tape. This is probably the best tape in the world. It's really strong. It's great. Kind of use it for anything important. So I'm just going to lay it down next to. I'm not going to go crazy. just so I don't totally mar or make the counter less less shiny. And like I said, it shouldn't matter at all. What it is going to do is going to make a little lip. All right. Okay. So we're going to start with the 100 grit or the 120 grit. So let me zoom this one in. All right, so I'm going to start with this dry. I'm going to try to do this so it doesn't block. I am not pressing hard at all. I'm actually doing very, very gently. And if it's dry enough, you can tell because the epoxy will kind of dull as opposed to like balling up. And epoxy tends to clog sandpaper. Now, I'm not sure. You see how this, when it dulls, it actually matches pretty well. I might wind up dulling it at the end after I wind up making it clear. Because actually, on something like this, dull actually is very good. I'm just trying to grossly reduce this. I don't have to make myself crazy on this. And you can see it's definitely coming off. You're going to feel it. Let's do it one more time. Okay, there's that. Now we're going to switch over to the 150. Put this on. There's definitely a lip on the front here. And there's going to be a lip because there's paper. So I'm just concentrating on the front a little bit more. Little lip right at the edge there. All right, so this paper's coming up here. I might move this or get rid of this. See how well it sticks? Now I'm gonna go have to get a, I was gonna have to get a razor blade to scrape that off. Okay. You can see the edge. I want to try to blend that in as well as I can. Okay, let's get rid of this one too as long as we're at it. Ooh, see how strong that is? See if I can get the whole thing off in one shot. Nope. So if you put this stuff down, make sure you have a razor blade to get it up. I'm going to sand this, it's going to come right off. All right, let's sand it. That's pretty flat right there. Okay. Next, we'll go to the 180. I'm pushing gently now. I feel like a little bump right there. There we go. Okay. Now we'll go up to 220. Look what came off there. I'm going to actually take some of the 180 to get the dust off the 220. Do this 220 one more time, which I really don't need to. Okay, now we'll go to 320. 320. Theoretically, I feel like I could stop right here. It blends really nicely, actually. So we'll remember the 320. I'm going to back this up just so you can see. It blends in pretty well. Just for the heck of it, we're going to go with the 400 now. And I'm going to add some water. 400 I'm going to use wet. So a little bit of water. $400 coming up. A little more water. There's 400. Now we'll go with the 800 wet. I'm going to wipe it off in between though. Since I'm in the bathroom, I'm going to grab what I have, which is toilet paper. Okay, now we'll get the 800. A little bit of water on it. Okay. $800. Now we're going to go to 1,000 with water. Sounds like a delivery. Okay. 2,000. And for the last one, I'm going to add a little bit of soap to it. So the 3000 paper under here. I'm going to add a little bit of soap. A little bit, whatever I have. I have this foaming soap. Okay. And there we have it. Let's back it up so we can see at a normal distance. Hold the GoPro up. Here's what it looks like at a normal distance. Not that it matters, but it's a GoPro, I think 11. That's it. So thanks for watching. And that's how you fill it in with epoxy. A granite or stone counter.